So we normally, when we do Am I the Asshole, we have our special guest Kingy on, but he is in college right now and working right now and is very busy. And so he hasn't been on. So you will be joining us for Am I the Asshole? But just in case any of our viewers are wondering where Kingy's went, he's still alive. He's just not with us right now.
So I have a bunch of them picked out, and then if you want to, you are more than welcome to pick ones for the next one. But let me tell you, from our previous one, it is not super easy to find ones that work for the show.
Well, does it have to be Reddit?
It has to be an Am I the Asshole post, which is on Reddit. It's a Reddit thread.
Oh, okay.
All right.
She doesn't just search Reddit for random questions.
Yeah, no, that is like
there's an actual like subreddit on there called Am I the Asshole?
This is actually people who want to know, like, did I do something bad and do I need to apologize to someone?
Okay.
So, all right. So the first one is, am I the asshole for holding a grudge against a friend who outed me as poly, even though he thought he was doing good?
Wait. I am horrible with
listening.
No, I am horrible with these statuses, if you will. I don't know. What is poly?
This is the only one.
Poly means you'll date more than one person at the same time, openly. Not just cheating, but
so that's not polygamy. Wait, is that polygamy?
Well, polygamy is where you marry more than one person.
Polygamy too is the more
religious.
It's when you're married, and it's the more religious form of it. So polyamory.
Polyamorous, okay.
Yeah, which is shortened to poly, is just choosing to date multiple people openly. The key is
and before it comes up, which it might, explain to me what cis is.
Cis?
Like a cis man.
That means you were born physically a man.
Okay.
And I don't think that's going to come up.
Okay, well, if it did, I would just want to know what the hell I'm talking about.
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
I'm going to restart this one.
Okay.
Okay. Am I the asshole for holding a grudge against the friend who outed me as poly, even though he thought he was doing good?
No.
That's
not somebody else's place to out you.
So you think that he... I was gonna say no for me too. Like, you can't out people. Okay, so the story is, I'm polyamorous. My wife Lisa has a boyfriend named Jeff, and I have a girlfriend named Natalie. The four of us hang out together. We're all consenting, but I don't advertise them anything other than monogamous to my and Lisa's friends. Enter Kevin, a not so close friend of Lisa, who happened to see me out with Natalie 2 years ago. He assumed that I was cheating on my wife, which is fair, and tried to right that wrong. If he'd just gone to Lisa and said it to her, she'd have clarified the misunderstanding, no harm done. Instead, he talked in private with several of my friends to gather evidence on me. Every time he told our friends that I'm a cheater, a lowlife, monster, etc. One friend was approached on Facebook Messenger and screen capped Kevin's conversation. Kevin said, and I quote, "Help me take down that fucking bastard." Then Kevin finally heard from Lisa that she approved of my relationship with Natalie, and I was forced to come out as poly publicly to shush rumors that I'm a dirtbag cheater. So thanks, Kevin. We've been clear that if Kevin is invited anywhere, that I'm not going. I still hate the guy's guts. I've been the butt of every joke and called a cuck 100 times since everyone knows that my wife has a boyfriend. Kevin demonstrated genuine hatred for me. I refuse to ever consider him a friend again, even though Lisa insists that Kevin thought that he was doing the right thing. I refuse to give him another chance. Am I the asshole? And then there's an update. So the update is, I've heard many, many times that it's my fault for dating Natalie in public when the fact that I'm poly is not openly known. Fair point. But for context, I live in a part of France with a population of 12 million people. Natalie lives in a completely different part of the city from Lisa and our friend group. And I think we were going to watch a movie at a cinema located in an area where neither me or her live. The chances to stumble on someone who knew us were basically zero. And me and Lisa were and are still fine with people knowing that we're poly. I just find it very embarrassing and I'd rather not spread the word about it. It's just not the stuff I want friends to know and tease me about. It's not as dire as being gay and in the closet. We face no actual rejection when the info became public. I know we're privileged in that way. The problem I have is with Kevin is he made up this fantasy in his head in which Lisa is a damsel in distress and I'm the bad guy. Even now that he approached Lisa and she told him that she knows Natalie well, poof, fantasy evaporated. But he was so dead set on demonizing me in the eyes of my friends, I don't think I want to forgive him. Lisa doesn't mind everyone knowing we're poly and talking about it with friends and relatives. She thinks that Kevin didn't mean to do anything wrong, which is easy for her to say when she was the victim in the eyes of everyone, where I was cast as the villain. So yeah, I'm not asking Lisa to stop talking to Kevin or whatever, but I don't ever want to see his rat face again.
Oh, women, because if he was
Kevin-
their mutual friend or if he was a friend, he would have contacted him personally and be like, hey, I saw you with this chick. Bro, what's going on? Like, are you cheating on your wife? Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Well, Kevin is the asshole.
Mm-hmm.
The guy should have just went to, what's the main guy's name? Sorry.
I don't think he
It wasn't Jeff. Okay. So the OP, he's just a dumbass.
Why? Why is he a
And-
dumbass?
Okay, you choose to be poly, which is fine. That's fine. That's what you want to do. That's fine. But if you're going to be out in public with another chick, I mean, you've got to.
Well, here's what they said. That's why the update is there. Because
I
they
know.
said there was no chance.
There's
of this
12
happening.
million people in this community.
Not to mention, just because,
Yeah.
like, that shouldn't entitle somebody to do that.
Or what if he
I-
was
but-
just going to the movies with a friend?
Yeah. I also kiss my friends.
That's fair.
Like Gary, I
That's-
would go see a movie with you and I wouldn't think twice about it.
I would hold hands with you on the way to the cinema.
Well, I mean, that's fair.
We could all hold hands and skip on our way in.
But it's just like, I don't know. It's just.
It's on Kevin for sexualizing everything for one.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Very
Yeah, like I said, Kevin is an asshole, but I mean, if you're going to live a certain way, why not embrace it? You know what I mean? I mean,
because there is a lot of judgment around it, and people will think that you're a dirtbag, and they don't.
They'll think you're just
understand
being a
how-
hoe. Like you just want to be able to sleep with everybody, even though it may not even be a sexual thing for you. It could completely be a romantic thing and an emotional thing.
Yeah, there's tons of poly people that don't have a sexual relationship with partners. And I've tried explaining. I have one friend who he asked me what poly is all the time. And I always explain it. He goes, I don't get it. I don't understand it. And it's like, I can't explain it any other way. Like, this is what it is. And it just it doesn't click in his brain. And the reason that you don't tell people is exactly this. He immediately, by his friend group, started being called a cuck and being made fun of and was the butt of every joke. And the funniest part about him being called a cuck was
that's where you watch your significant other bang somebody and you jerk
Yes.
off, right?
They don't know that they do it that way. Like
well,
a lot of them aren't. It's very private, each relationship.
but the funniest part about that was you caught him with another girl. Why are you calling him the cock?
Yeah.
So that's exactly it. It's that people don't understand it and they're just mean to him about it. And these are his friends. These aren't random people on the streets. These are his friends that are making fun of him because he was open with how his relationship is.
Yeah, because if he's a cuck, is she not one too? Because he's sleeping with somebody else. Supposedly, he may not be sleeping with them,
Exactly.
but that's what is being observed by others. That it's a
Yeah,
sexual.
but dude friends are bigger assholes like that. Like,
Yeah. So the internet says that this dude was not the asshole, which I fully agree with. There's no way that he was the asshole in this.
no.
That startled me.
The dog also agrees.
Hold on, I'm muted. Go ahead.
I'm not going to do this until you unmute.
Watch him yell.
Because you know what's going to happen is he's going to
Forget that he's
unmute
muted.
and be muted.
Was that muted? I was muted at least, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
All right.
So we couldn't hear what curse words you were saying to the dog. We
We'll
couldn't
have to
hear
get
your
a-
verbal abuse towards your dog.
We'll have to get a lip reader for the premiere.
There you go. It was just shut up.
All right. The next one is, am I the asshole for telling my girlfriend that she needs to pay me if she wants my band to perform at her birthday party?
Yes.
Wait,
Am I the asshole for telling
Why
my
else do you date a band member?
hey,
Because you like their music.
I missed it. What was it? Okay.
Yeah. Am I the asshole for telling my girlfriend that she'd need to pay me if she wants my band to perform at her birthday party?
That should be like a gift to her, is the band that she loves is going to play at
Yeah.
the birthday party.
Like if somebody was like, hey, as a gift, do you want this? And that depends where it is too. Like, is it a backyard party? Is it an actual venue? Like,
No, no, it's kind of like you have a friend who's a hairstylist. You should pay them to do
This
your
is
hair.
her boyfriend.
I understand that, but it's not. She's dating him, not the band.
yeah, like
I could see having to pay the other band members.
Yeah, the other band members, absolutely.
That's
but
probably what it.
That's probably the more information we'll get.
Yeah.
So it's my 20-year-old male girlfriend, 20-year-old female's birthday next week, and she's planning on having a party at her place. We were talking about it last night. She told me it would be really cool if my band could perform at her birthday party. I'm in a band with two of my friends, and we're pretty famous locally. I told her I could perform at her party, but she'd need to pay us. She flipped and said I never do anything for her without expecting something in return. I felt like what I said was justified, as it's not just me and the band, but two other guys as well, and they need to be paid for their time. Am I the asshole?
No. I can see her. I can kind of see her.
I think that's a deeper issue, though. Like,
You never
her
do
side-
anything for me. This is not fair.
yeah, like that's a deeper issue with her boyfriend that has nothing to do with the band.
Yeah.
But like,
I don't know.
if they're famous locally, they might be missing out on a paying gig
Mhm.
for that night.
And the other band members may need that to pay their bills.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. That's probably their income. So I mean, it's just like me having, like I said, a hairstylist friend and expecting them to do my hair for cheap or for free. You know, it's just I'd be
A
an asshole.
friend, yeah, you should pay them.
I think it depends too. Like if they offer, like I could see where if he was like, hey, we'll do 2 or 3 songs. But you know, after that, like, and if you want the full set, you will have to like compensate the guys for their time. But I think it would have like, I think if it was framed better as more of like I will do it for free because it's your birthday and I love you, but these guys do need to be compensated for their time.
Yeah. But they're only 20, so they don't know how to word things.
the
was like,
comments on
Steph-
this one. Go ahead.
Huh? Well, I was gonna say like Stephanie's a dental. The dogs are about to start freaking out. I just saw the post off the UPS. Anyways, she's not a dental hygienist, but kind of like she cleans teeth. I can't remember the name of it, but anyways, she has cleaned my teeth for free, but she offered.
Yeah, that's the difference.
She was like, my God, your teeth look wretched. Get in here and let me clean those motherfuckers.
No, I couldn't get into
Good
the dentist
Lord.
for a few months. So she said, I'll just do it. And I was like, all right.
She's like, listen, it's embarrassing for me to be seeing somebody with teeth like that.
Are you kidding me? Look at these. Yeah.
I go next week for my cleaning. I love to go to the dentist. It's one of my favorite things to do.
Love
It's
it.
mine
Lindsay's
too,
the reason I went to the dentist.
I
Because
would,
she made
I
me
would,
feel
I
better
would go
about
have
it.
teeth extracted if it wouldn't make me look like an idiot.
I am having my wisdom teeth taken out on Tuesday.
Okay.
But the internet said that he was the asshole for this, which I don't. I'm on the fence with it. I
Mhm.
think that everyone kind of sucks here, and I think.
But
that,
we
like,
also live in an entitled world these days.
Yeah, and like the thing is if I was dating someone who was in a band and I was like, hey, it'd be really cool if you and your band played, I'll be happy to pay you if you need me to. Like I would offer to pay.
Yeah.
But then I would be a little hurt if he's like, oh, good, I want this much. And be like,
I would also be
Okay.
offended. Like I have one of my favorite bands. I'm always like, I kind of want to do a show and like, but I was like, I don't know like how much their fee is and if I can afford it. Cause that's the embarrassing part too, is those things aren't public. So you're like, hey, I really want you to perform. What's your fee? And then they tell you the fee and you're like, that is not what I was prepared for. And I cannot afford you. And like, I'm just going to slink away.
Yeah.
So it gets weird, but yeah, I don't necessarily, I think everyone sucks there. Like, I think that she was kind of entitled for asking him and like not expecting, and just expecting like a full set probably. And then I think he was the asshole for.
I bet if she said, honey, will you do an acoustic set at my party? He'd be like, bet.
Yeah.
I bet the deciding factor on that decision was his bandmates.
Yeah.
Like I can guarantee it, like 100%.
Yeah.
So
and the bandmates need to be compensated.
Yeah.
So I
Soft
think
their girlfriend.
Yeah, exactly. Or is it? They could be poly.
They could be. That's a good point.
that's true.
All right. Next up, am I the asshole for not leaving the room when my roommate uses his snuggling services and calling him cringe? Asshole.
What?
So this is the guy that orders that person to come snuggle him.
Yeah. So this person is wondering if they are the asshole for not leaving the room when the roommate has a snuggling service over, and then
What
he
room?
also called his roommate cringe.
What room?
I would assume a living room.
If it's the living room, this is a shared space. Go
Yeah, I feel the
snuggle
same.
elsewhere.
Hang on,
Calling him cringe, it's a little insulting, but that's once again, that is a buddy thing. I mean, you just
I love to snuggle.
There
give
used to
your
be an app for it, but I was always too nervous to use it because, like, as a woman inviting somebody over to snuggle, even though it's like just to snuggle, I'm always just like, what if they want more? And then
I was gonna say there's no such thing. I don't think there's a such thing as just snuggling.
Oh, I platonic snuggle with my friend all the time.
And he never gets a boner.
Lily platonically snuggles with her friends. Her and her girlfriend both like to snuggle, and they'll snuggle with their other friends, and they're completely open about it and know that they snuggle with their other friends, and nobody gets jealous.
Yeah, I was gonna say
they're very mature for 18-year-olds.
If my friend gets a boner, he doesn't make it known to me.
Okay.
Because like you can platonically snuggle your friends and it not be weird or sexual. Like snuggling is actually like the human touch is actually very like it's very important. And so like one of the things that you do if you're trying to like torture somebody is like take that away from them because people need other people and physical touch. And it doesn't have to be sexual. It can just be like nice. But back to it, is this person the asshole for not leaving the room and calling him?
I'm with Gary. If it's a common room, he's not an asshole. If it was like his private bedroom, then like what the fuck are you doing in there?
Yeah. I think he's the asshole. Like
snuggle.
I think that like I don't know. It's a weird thing, but I think he's the asshole. Okay. So I live in a dormitory. I share a room with my roommate. We had a rule from the beginning. If one of us ever had a girl over, we were going to have private time with. We must give the other person 5 hours notice, and the other person must leave.
5 hours.
Yeah.
I love it. I love this. So this is cool. So you throw it out there and you don't give context, and then you come back and give context. I like that.
Yeah.
It's cool. I like it.
So it says, it worked out okay. I always text my roommate whenever I brought girls over. I rarely not use it now as my girlfriend has her own place by herself, so I go there. My roommate, however, doesn't respect this rule, and he often rents women out to snuggle with. Yes, he doesn't have sex with them. He pays women between 750 to 1,000 rand, which is South African money, an hour to snuggle. That's so fucking cringe, especially since you can get a prostitute for less than half that and just pay them to snuggle. Using a prostitute is usually pretty pathetic, but paying someone to snuggle you is beyond that. I walked into my roommate snuggling. He told me to leave, and I said no because he did not respect that rule I had a major assignment that I had to do. All of our work got lost because my friend's computer with all of it broke. The shit had to be uploaded within 3 hours. He demanded I leave, and I told him to stop yelling and to just ignore me. I was just typing on my computer. He continued to yell at me, and the snuggle prostitute told him to chill out and just let me be there, and they can just
She's not a
cuddle.
prostitute. This guy's
Well,
an asshole just the way he's
yeah.
Snuggle process.
Yeah,
he's being
he's
totally
really-
disrespectful.
He really is.
They're both dicks.
So the snuggle prostitute told him to chill out and just let me be, and they can just cuddle. And he says, I'm ruining the experience that he paid for. After the 5th time he told me to go out, I just yelled, shut the fuck up. My God, you're so fucking pathetic. You know that, he goes, you're so fucking pathetic. You know, having to pay someone for snuggles, fucking hell, get help, man. He ended up actually leaving. The woman said something to me in what I think was, I can't pronounce it. It was another language, but I have no clue. No idea why she thought I would speak that language, nor why she was speaking that language when she was white. Roommate comes back a few days later and says, I really hurt him. We need to fix things. I told him he needs to chill out. He ended up going back to Pretoria. So I don't know what happens now. I think he's moving to a new dorm.
He's a total dick.
Yeah.
He is a dick.
First,
He's
he's
a dick.
totally downgrading the snuggle person's profession. They're
Mhm.
not prostitutes. They're
Nope.
snuggle buddies. And
they're
hiring a
actually-
prostitute and just asking them to snuggle that's not their job. Their job is for other things. Like you're asking someone to do something that's outside of their job description.
There is actually a service, and I want to say it is in the it's in like Washington or Oregon or something, but it's this woman who actually trains people to be professional snugglers. Because like I don't know if you guys have ever cuddled with somebody who just like sucks at it, but like some
You
people
can
just
suck
suck
at
at
that?
it. And,
Yeah.
like you can be trained on how to do it so that it is an actual profession. But yeah, this dude was a total asshole. For like just the way that he talked to them. However, his roommate is also an asshole for not respecting the rules. And also like,
Yeah.
why couldn't you go into your room and snuggle with this
What's that,
person?
they're
Well,
both
if they're in a
assholes. Well, it's
dorm,
dorm room, it's just one room.
They're sharing the one room.
Oh, that's right. Sorry, I didn't go to college.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that just it's weird. But yeah, this dude was like such a jerk. Like who just yells at somebody like that?
He's definitely
Yeah, they're both assholes.
He'd be one to kink shame and stuff like that.
Yeah, and he did kink shame. That is kink shaming.
Well, and
So-
it's totally shaming him for his emotional needs too, because
Yeah.
for that at that point it's like he's needing the hormones that you get from that, to emotionally boost him. So that's being a fucking
I just
prick.
want to know why you'd pay for it. Like, why can't you? I mean, surely you can find somebody that's willing to do it.
Maybe
No.
not. You don't want to do it with someone that just feels obligated because they're your friend and they're like, oh my God, okay, fine.
And some people also have like very
Well, you think the person you're paying wants to do it?
yes,
Yeah.
that's why they do it for a living.
That's why they do it.
Yeah, they do it for money. They're not doing it.
Okay,
for
but they want to be there to do it, whether it's for the money or because they genuinely want to do it.
So here's the thing, and it's the same thing with sex workers of all things and all jobs. Like you choose to do it and like they enjoy it. Like you're not going to go and do something like that, especially because even something like that, even though there's no sex involved, it is incredibly risky because the same reason that I wouldn't use that app, you don't know this person. So you are choosing to put yourself in a potentially harmless situation for the comfort of others. Now there's also services that offer hand jobs to disabled people. So it's the same thing. These are people who volunteer their time to give, and I want to say it's in the UK, and I want to say it's covered like one hand job a year. It's very weird. Just that like that's their matrix, not the act itself. But disabled
Wait a
people.
second. Wait a second. What's this called?
But disabled people, they can't do stuff for themselves. So they do need that assistance. So it's a physical need that needs to be taken care of, and somebody is volunteering their time. Now, in this situation, the person is getting paid, but it's still something that they are choosing to do with their time, regardless of if it's for money.
This reminds me of this app I have. I feel like a dick. Okay, am I the asshole?
Yes. If you have to ask,
You
yes.
I have an I had an app a friend told me about, and I was what it is it's for the blind. I think it's called Be My Eyes.
Oh yeah, I've heard that where they'll call you with
If
like
they
help
need your
clicking.
help, they'll FaceTime you. I might it rang like I've had like 4 calls from it, and I didn't realize how bad my social anxiety really is until
Yeah.
that goes off, and then I'm like,
I get you.
yeah, that thing, they'll call somebody else because I just know, because I knew if I would have answered, I probably wouldn't have been able to help anyways. I'd have just been like, and then
I want to do that.
Yeah, it's cool.
get
They'll
it.
call
Be
you
my
at like
eyes.
the grocery store and they'll be like, am I grabbing the right item? And you're like,
Right.
yes, you are.
Or they need to find a button on the remote for the TV or something.
Aw.
Yeah. So like these things are helpful and it is nice. And like, I think everyone sucks. Like it's just a bad situation all around.
That was just, yeah. They don't sound like, they sound like very conflicting personalities.
Yeah.
They do, yeah.
Like one of them is the science geek and the other
Mhm.
one plays sports and has never had trouble finding a lover in his entire life.
Yeah, and it's different too because this guy too, he's like,
Not
my
that
girlfriend
science
never
geeks have that
plays,
trouble. I'm just
yeah,
going by stereotypes
the
here, not by
stereotype.
reality. Yeah.
But yeah, like the other dude, he's like, I go to my girlfriend's house. So he doesn't even have a concept of what it's like anymore to have somebody in that shared space. So it's just the internet agreed though, everyone sucks.
Yeah.
So the next one is, am I the asshole for putting a bunch of my husband's stuff in storage to prove a point?
Depends on what the point is.
Yeah.
Need more information.
Yeah, definitely need more information on
Yeah. So it says, my husband has a lot of stuff. I wouldn't call it a hoard, but it's a whole lot of stuff that he doesn't use. Just an example, we have a walk-in closet, a regular closet, and 2 dressers in our bedroom. I only have 2 drawers of the dresser to myself. I put my clothes in laundry baskets on the floor. This is a continual argument. He insists he uses everything. I got so frustrated that while he was at work, I rented a storage unit, grabbed a bunch of his stuff, and put it in there. That was 2 months ago. Yesterday, he came up furious at me, asking if I threw away all his stuff. I said no, it was in the storage unit, and I put it in there to prove to him that he doesn't use any of it. He immediately drove and got it all out. Now it's like the Cold War in our house. Am I the asshole?
No.
See, I would say asshole only because granted, it was 2 months later, but he was looking for one of those things, which means he does use it. I think that I think
well, actually, I kind of feel more like everyone's an asshole here. Like he should have been more considering for her. If her stuff's on the floor, why does he not have to put some of his stuff on the floor? Like he could clear up some space and share the floor space and say, okay, if you're having to throw your shit on the floor, then I'll throw some of mine on the floor too. Like be respectful and share everything. Share the spaces.
This is a tough one.
Because you're not an asshole. You allow people to completely take over your entire life.
It sounds like she gave him ample opportunity and let him know that this isn't working for her. And it's a 50-50 deal. So, I mean, it sounds like her cries of help were ignored. So she took it upon herself to... Now, she is kind of an asshole for just doing it with his things. Now, if she would have took both of their shit and put it in a storage,
she may not have that much stuff.
Well, and also she was trying to prove a point to him where like it's possible, because we don't have an update on this one. It's possible that like, maybe, and she'll be like, okay, so as you can see, you don't need all of your stuff. We have this storage unit now. Let's put stuff.
What does the internet say?
The internet said that she's not the asshole, and I don't agree, because honestly, if somebody took my stuff and boxed it up and made the decision on what is and is not necessary in my life and just like put it somewhere else.
Even if that person told you, let's fix this.
Well, we don't know. We don't know that she did that, and we don't
I
know
thought
how
she did. I
did
thought
that
she
too.
said she's been telling him for.
But it's a continual argument. So the other part of it that, at least in my opinion, is that like how she's telling him. Because if she's just yelling at him and it's your problem and it's your issue, I also wouldn't want to change it. Like, but that's just because I'm a stubborn jerk. But
Same. I'm the same way.
yeah, but like the fact of the matter is, she does not get to determine what is and is not important in his life and take that stuff. And also, he didn't know that she put it in the storage unit. Like, she could have thrown it out, and that is a thing that like could escalate from this point. And now that's a huge issue in their marriage of like, this is just a thing that she does now. She just takes the stuff and puts it there. So I think she's the asshole, and I don't think that you should ever just take someone else's stuff and move it from your property. Like, I could see if she like put in boxes and put it on the corner, or if she was like, listen, we need to tackle this as a couple. But I think she's the jerk for unilaterally deciding what is and is not important in his life.
Yeah, I've never removed anything
Fair.
of
Fair.
like Anthony's from our property without his
Yeah,
Yeah, you just
permission.
hide his stuff.
I just hide stuff. No, or I'll put it in our storage, one of our storage buildings. Like, I'll do that. But I usually would let him know, hey, I put some of your stuff out in the storage building because we need more room. He's like, okay.
Yeah.
And he
I
never
need a-
ever goes to look for it ever again. And it just
I need
sits
a
out there.
storage building. It's so bad.
Yeah. So internet says,
No, you
not the
don't.
asshole. I don't agree.
You need to remove.
Yes, you need to
From your
remove
life.
everything. I'm worried about you that once everything is gone, you will become a hoarder because this is all that you know.
You know, the only thing I hoard and I'll
Our
tell you-
people.
No.
And animals.
No.
And the stuff that comes with those people and animals.
Light bulbs and electronics.
I actually need light bulbs. If you could drive some up, that would be stellar.
I have got so many.
Why?
I have an unhealthy addiction to light bulbs.
Watch out.
I'm the
Lindsay's putting
type,
them in
like,
storage
I have a
unit.
light bulb go out, and until they've all went out, I
Yeah.
don't start replacing any. I'm like, it's fine. I can still see.
Yeah.
Okay, I say light bulbs, but they're okay, fancy light bulbs. Like Wi-Fi, they connect
Like
to your
the-
phone.
Oh,
Oh, you have a bunch of
a
smart
bunch
ones?
of smart ones, yes.
Okay, now
And
I
have
definitely need 3.
Edison bulbs.
I like those.
They're beautiful. Anyways. And I've been
Alright.
buying a lot of Echo shows lately for some reason because they've been on like sale for like $40.
But you don't need a bunch of them.
I know.
Well, yeah, you do. You need them for like I have well, I don't have the show, but like I have an Echo in 3 different rooms. My
I have a-
bedroom.
I have
one
like
in
probably
the living
7 echoes.
I have several Echoes. I have Echo shows.
I don't have any show ones.
I have a bunch of Blink Minis.
I have the show, but only because Amazon used to have this it was like a wardrobe thing, but you would put on your outfit and then you would
Prime
take a
wardrobe.
picture and it would like compare 2 outfits and it would tell you like statistically which one looks better on you. And they discontinued it. And so they were like, hey, we're discontinuing it. It's no longer going to be supported on our platform. We're going to give you an Echo show. Here's a code for a free Echo show. So
That's nice.
so that's the only reason I got an Echo show. And then I was like, oh, this actually is a very convenient product. And I'm
it's
going to get it
amazing.
now. Yeah.
What do you do on it?
It's just like an Echo, but it's got a screen on it. So like
Can I hook up my Ring cameras to it to see
you can
who's
do
at my door?
that. I got my doorbell hooked up to mine. my
Oh,
video
if you have an
doorbell.
extra one, send me one.
I have.
Yeah. So I need 3 light
can-
bulbs. Lindsay needs an Echo show.
You can play the one that I've got coming. I believe you can watch Netflix on it.
I don't need that. I just want one to be able to hook up my Ring to.
Mine's only like this big.
That's the 5. I got the 8, which is a bigger.
Okay.
Anyways.
Well, I'll
Yeah.
take your oldest, smallest one.
Okay.
He's like, no, I keep all of my shows.
I know,
I have
I
7
know.
in one room.
Yeah, so that's where we find out that Gary's a hoarder because he's surrounded by echoes, and Jeff Bezos is just going to like come
The
over
next
and
video
go
I'm gonna
through.
have, they're all gonna be behind me, and it's gonna be like the anonymous videos. It's like the static. Do we have more? Am I the assholes?
Yeah, of course I do.
Nice.
I have 12 and we were on 5.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Chair
Am I
keeps
the-
rolling. Look.
Oh my God, you guys. You're killing me.
Sorry.
Are we all good?
Yeah,
All
it
right.
may roll away. I've been using my toilet to keep me from rolling, but it's not
I was
working.
saying, when Lindsay doesn't like an Am I the Asshole, she just rolls off camera. All right. Am I the asshole for exposing my sister's lie to her boyfriend after promising I wouldn't?
Yeah.
But it depends on the
If you
lie.
promised you wouldn't, then yeah.
Yeah. I want
No
more.
matter what it is.
Because like the promise.
Because now you're a liar too.
I was gonna say the promising you wouldn't, like, it depends. It's one of those things where it's like, yes, I will keep your secret unless it is hurting another person.
Right.
Right.
The moral,
I want more
the
information.
Well,
moral-
that's what
the
she should have
morale-
thought about when she made that promise.
Well, maybe her sister was like, "Do you promise to keep this secret?" And you're like, "Yeah, sure. What? How bad could it be?" And then she found out, and she's like,
Like, holy shit, no, I can't keep the secret.
So, says to preface this family is troubled. The sister that is mentioned is my stepsister. My sister and I are
Alright.
25 and barely a month apart. I know that she likes to think that we are extra close because of this and likes to call me her twin. I, on the other hand, do not think so. She's been dating this guy from France, we're German, for 6 months now. He is from a rather picture perfect and very rich family. And to be honest, I'd strongly warned her against dating such a guy because I had a bad experience years
And they're
ago.
poly. Oh, twist. Woo. Sorry.
So I warned my sister, told her the story and what to watch out for because she takes heartbreak worse than I do. Last weekend, she brought him to dinner. They did tests and quarantine at my request. It was pleasant and he was a nice guy. We mostly talked in English, so my dad couldn't really ruin anything. However, I made small talk and said some things that indicated that we were not bio sisters, if you do the math. She tried to hush me and talk over me a few times, but I didn't catch on to what her problem was. She later told me in private that she had told her boyfriend that we are twins and basically a happy family. I told her this was a dumb lie and that this was the dumbest shit I'd ever heard. She begged me to play along and said that she would tell him soon, so I agreed. The topic of family just didn't come up anymore, so it wasn't so hard. However, later when her boyfriend and I were alone, he asked me if we were stepsisters. He had caught on from my prior comments that I didn't want to lie to him because I'm a shit liar. So I said yes, and I explained that she had lied because she's silly and thinks of us as this close. He nodded and stated that. Yesterday, I got a call from my crying sister accusing me of intentionally ruining her relationship. Apparently, he confronted her and the whole thing spiraled into a huge fight. I tried to calm her down, but she screamed that I wanted to ruin her relationship and I hung up. I was also bombarded with calls and texts from her and our parents. They always take her side for breaking my promise and hating love and rich people and whatnot.
You hate love. You hate
and
rich people. You hate everyone.
Hate love and rich people. And some emotional blackmail about how sisters stick together no matter what. I blocked all the numbers and contact options for them to cool down, but it's getting me. Why I might be the asshole. I probably worded my previous suspicion too strong. I also called her out on dreaming of that Cinderella story because she's lazy and that she would sacrifice her independency for money. Yes, very shitty. It was the heat of an argument and unrelated to the French guy, but she mentioned it in a text. I gave a promise and broke it barely an hour later. Why I don't think I'm the asshole. She lied. Plain and simple. So she wants to know. The too long didn't read is my sister lied about our family situation to her boyfriend and wanted me to lie too. He caught on and I told the truth. They're currently fighting and might break up. Am I the asshole?
That whole post is a lot.
Everybody in this whole scenario is an asshole. The boyfriend, the girlfriend, the sister, they're all assholes.
Why is the boyfriend the asshole?
That OP is.
You're gonna break up with someone because she calls her stepsister her twin.
We don't know what it's
like that whole
spiraled into a larger fight. So, and essentially what she did was lying. So it's like,
but maybe she wasn't really lying if she calls her twin because of their birthdays.
Story. There's
like,
way more to this story than the person that typed that out. Whoever's typing that out, that the OP is just there. That's not the full story. 100%. Oh God. No.
Did you hear it?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Some ASMR.
I was worried we wouldn't get that this episode. You're welcome, everyone.
Oh.
Yeah, like it's a weird thing to lie about. And also, like, if you're going to lie to people, you need to tell them first. Like, that's where this came from. Is this probably?
I don't know why she's lying. Like, so
I'm
I
not
think
even-
the girlfriend's
I'm
the
not gonna put
asshole.
much thought into it because I think it's all a crock of shit.
I think the girlfriend's the asshole for lying about it. Like, why would you
Yeah.
even lie about that? I'd be like, hey, this is my twin. I mean, technically we're stepsisters, but our birthdays are close.
That's
Yeah,
So I call her my
it's a
twin.
very
That would
simple-
be it. And then the whole scenario wouldn't have even been there. The other
Well-
sister is an asshole because she's just being insensitive to every single other person's
Well,
situation.
It
I mean,
doesn't matter. It's all
technically, that was the issue was like she didn't out her sister until confronted. So like, there's also the possibility that like if this boyfriend hadn't been like, "Hey, are you guys real sisters?" It wouldn't.
Like, she's
come up.
being insensitive to that sister's feelings, though, because that sister clearly feels very connected to her. And she's like, oh my God, you're just my stepsister. Leave me the fuck alone, basically, is how I get her. feelings
Yeah,
toward
I
her.
mean, in the beginning, it does come off like that, and then at the end, it kind of comes off like the stepsister is kind of like a conceited and like is just trying to like get her Cinderella story, like she said. So, but yeah,
and the boyfriend is an asshole for even giving a shit about technically what type of sister that they are. They're just sisters. Who fucking
I don't
cares?
think
It's
that
all
that's what the breakup
bullshit.
was about. I think the breakup was
See,
about the bigger
I hate this
lie.
one. This one is making me irate. This one
I
sucks.
think that it pisses me off because my entire life is nothing but step family.
Mhm.
Like, in addition to my real family, like I've never known my life without step family. So to me, like, they're still just family. Like, my stepdad is still my dad. Like, I
Yeah.
just introduce him as my dad. I don't say this is my stepdad. This is
Yeah,
my
I think
dad.
it's weird. I think it's weird when people do that, where they're like, "This is my step." Like, all of my siblings are adopted. I don't go like, "This is my adopted."
Like, the only
sister."
time I clarify is like when I'm talking about my stepmom, I will say, yes, my mom, technically she's my stepmom, because people know that my mom has died. So I don't want to be like, I
Yeah.
thought your mom died.
I
Like, and so that's the only time I really specify.
I've never been able to call my stepmom mom.
I call her Donna, but when I introduce her to people, it's my mom. And I have her saved as mom in my phone.
my stepmom.
you know.
And then like with the kids, it's Grandma Heidi.
But
Um,
like, my step parents have been my step parents literally since I was a toddler.
Well,
Yeah,
so
we
is-
don't.
my
We don't
So,
know
like,
how
I
long
don't-
it's been.
my stepmom's been with me since I was 8. Like
Yeah, I
7 or
was
8.
like, I think my parents got with my step parents when I was around 2 and got married when I was like 2.5 to 3, like on both sides.
It took
So
me forever to tell her I love her. I don't know why. Because she's I mean, I
both
do-
my
I
step
love-
parents, I say I love you to, and we even give each other kisses like goodbye and stuff. Like both my step parents, and I'm almost 40, and I still kiss them like I would my real parents.
on the lips.
Yeah, I'll kiss them on the lips.
I was trying to think about it. But I remember. I look back like with my son. I know this is
Usually on the cheek, but I mean, my stepmom and I will give each other pet kisses on the lips.
I kissed my son on the lips for the longest time, and at some point it stopped. And I
I've
look
never
back, and I'm like,
stopped.
I remember kissing my dad on the lips, and I'm like, when did I stop kissing my dad on the lips?
It's because society is a bunch of disgusting monsters.
What's a normal like what?
You don't
like-
have to stop. Like,
No,
there's nothing-
we don't
there's
stop.
There's nothing sexual about a peck.
So you're
on the
telling me
lips
if my
of people
dad-
you love.
If my dad did not pass away in August and he was still here, it wouldn't be weird for me to kiss him on the lips.
Your dad.
No.
Now, maybe if your dad had been a creepy dad, yeah, but if he's just a normal, loving father, no. Like, I
That's
will
the thing,
kiss
like-
my kids on the lips if they're comfortable with it, and I want to
We
till I'm
embraced each other.
100.
I mean, we embraced in a nice hug every time we saw each other.
They're like, it's just platonic. Like, you're not
Yeah.
hardcore making out with these people.
No, it's just a
Uh,
pet kiss because you
It's
love
just a
them.
peck kiss. And people have made it into something dirty, and it's not. Like, kiss your friends, kiss your family, kiss whoever you want on the list.
I kiss my friend. I even kiss like my best friend's parents on the cheek whenever I give them
Yeah.
hugs.
So you're kind of like English.
Yeah.
I guess. I mean, I don't go, but I like as I give them a hug, like give them a peck. I'll give them like a peck on the cheek, to let them know that they're loved and somebody cares. Because
Yeah.
some
I love
people may
that.
go years without being kissed. And I don't mean like in a sexual way, just having someone love you enough to kiss you. So if I,
do
love
think
someone, I'll kiss them.
a lot of inner conviction, like I wouldn't think the word's conviction, but where something feels off. I think that is just society implanting it within us.
Yeah.
Fuck society. I don't care. I'll kiss who I want to kiss as long as they want me to kiss them. Now, if they're like, please don't kiss me, I would obviously not do that. I'm not going to like impose, but I like to be endearing toward people.
Right.
Yeah, like top tier for me is like the forehead kiss. Somebody kisses my forehead and I'm like, I am loved. That's it for me. So the internet for this said that the original poster is not the asshole for exposing her sister's lie after saying that she wouldn't. I would agree.
They're all assholes.
I hate that whole
thing. In
thing.
the bigger scheme, they're all assholes, but I think in the specific instance of like, is she the asshole for exposing? No, because she was directly asked a question and she didn't want to lie. And I'm the same way. Like, I am all about like being sneaky and secretive. And like, if you don't ask me directly and I can get away with like a half answer, I will. But if somebody literally goes, are you full sisters? No, we are not, because why would I lie about that?
And it's none of your damn business anyways.
Yeah.
Are you my medical doctor needing to know if we have the same diseases? This doesn't pertain to anything that you need to know, so it doesn't matter.
It's because his girlfriend lied about something stupid. And if she lies about stupid stuff like that, what else will she lie about?
I agree. She shouldn't have lied about it. That's why I say she's an asshole too, because she shouldn't have lied to begin with.
But yeah, like I don't think that the boyfriend is the asshole solely because he was lied to, and he does, like, that's what the issue comes in, is like, it's the bigger issue of like, what else is this woman going to lie to me about?
I can get behind you on that, but this whole post pisses me off.
All right, well, let's move on then.
Yes.
Am I the asshole for refusing to pay for ranch at a pizza place and going across the street to buy a bottle from CVS?
No, it's your money. Do whatever the fuck you want to.
Yeah, but did you bring the bottle of ranch back to the restaurant?
Yes.
Obviously.
Yeah, you're an asshole.
I know some places are weird about that, but I do want more context on this because, like,
well, you're
just gonna look like a weirdo. But I mean,
it's a help, but also.
But if you have like a dietary, like that's the thing, is like if you have dietary restrictions and like, I have vegan ranch, like
there you go. I mean, something like that, yes. But if it's just you don't want to pay. I mean, there's a huge difference between a homemade. There's a difference between a beautiful homemade ranch versus a bottle at CVS. You know what I mean? There's a huge difference. But
all right, so the story for this. So last night, me and a few friends went to a pizza shop in downtown Morgantown. We got a couple of pizzas, some regular, some gourmet. We didn't know, but every pizza came with a cup of garlic sauce. Well, none of us like garlic sauce, and we asked if we could get some ranch for it instead. They wanted $1 per cup and wouldn't swap the garlic sauce. Keep in mind, these were large pizzas and very hungry college students, and we would have needed about 10 of these little cups of ranch. We weren't about to pay $10 for ranch dressing, and told the girl who brought the pizza out not to worry about the ranch. The restaurant owner overheard this and made the comment, "Shit isn't free, boys," and that really pissed me off. There was a convenience store across the street, so I decided to get us some ranch. I got up and walked across the street and bought a big bottle of ranch, enough for 5 or more pizza outings for $5. Some of my friends said I shouldn't have done that and that the store owner gave me a dirty look. I was told I was petty and tight. I told them I was going to enjoy my cheap ranch, and if it was that big of a personal conviction, to keep their hands off it. That personal conviction lasted 30 seconds, and pretty soon that bottle was being passed around the table. Remember, they gave out the garlic sauce and refused to substitute ranch. I was frustrated, and it was a strange thing to say the least. So am I the asshole for refusing to pay $10 for ranch and going to buy my own bottle instead?
No, because any pizza place I go to, you have the option to choose what kind of sauce you want if you don't want the one that they give with it.
Well, this sounds like a mom and pop shop.
Even still, like our local mom and pop ones, they'll be like, it comes with this, but you can substitute it, but you only get one thing of sauce with it. You have to pay for the extra one.
Like, it absolutely pains me to pay 30 cents for a cup of ranch at McDonald's now.
Yeah.
But my kids, like, just like at Taco Bell, they have to have the side of nacho cheese to dip their burrito in. That's 60 cents. Do I like paying that? No. But I do.
But they wouldn't substitute it. That's the problem, is like if
They don't want this other sauce that you're giving them.
Yeah. So and this place is essentially saying, they're like, well, you're getting the garlic sauce anyways, and they're not using the garlic sauce. So now the restaurant gets that garlic sauce back and they can give it to somebody else. Because I'm assuming in this, and I don't know for sure, but I'm assuming in this that that it's oh, you know what? I do remember, because I looked this up and they did the picture. It's just the little cups that are like sealed.
For
So
$1.
it's like, yeah. So it's like, okay, if it's a sealed cup, it's not like it's a homemade garlic sauce that they're putting into a bowl that they can't reuse. They can reuse this garlic sauce. So I think that it would be the same as like if you went to McDonald's and they said, this comes with ranch, and you're like, but I want barbecue sauce. And they go, sucks, if you want barbecue sauce, you're gonna have to pay 50 cents more because this comes with ranch and you're getting the ranch either way.
I see your point, but I think it's a numbers thing. Obviously, the numbers have been worked, and it would be like the price that the whatever you bought, it has included the garlic, and apparently, I'm gonna guess that the ranch is more expensive.
But $1 more per cup, because like
Those
I said,
little
I saw
cups.
pictures of the little cups, and they're charging $1. I can get one of those for 70 cents from Jewel.
You can get them for like a quarter at Walmart.
Exactly. And they're probably getting them from Costco, where they're significantly cheaper because
Yeah.
they're buying them in bulk. So really, I don't think this.
I just think I think that all this boils down to cost. And I mean, yes, the restaurant should,
But the restaurant should have thought is, you know what? Us not substituting this is going to piss these people off and they're not going to come back.
well, obviously it's probably not been a deal, the whole, because it's like me, I would have just went without ranch.
Yeah, me too. I'd have been like, oh, that's too expensive. Just forget it.
Right. And so forget it. I'll just
Eat without
Yeah,
ranch.
like I think that he was being petty by going, but also like I think it's crazy that the restaurant wouldn't.
You know what he should do? What would be even more petty is to set up his own little shop outside the pizza place selling bottles of ranch for $1.
Like just absolutely insane. Like you said, every pizza place is like you get to pick your sauce, and then to just be like, no, it only comes with this. I think that's crazy.
I'm almost willing to bet that if it was just him and a buddy, like two people, they would have been like, yeah, cool. But I bet since it was a big
A whole
group,
table, like, come on now. We're not adding $10 minimum onto our bill just for fucking ranch.
And like he said, he bought the bottle from CVS. It cost $5, and they have enough for 5 more outings.
and that ranch was probably way worse than the one they could have had.
Disagree. Those little cups of ranch are.
I'm not a big ranch person, so-
If it's homemade ranch,
It's not
wasn't.
homemade ranch. It
It's
is
those
these
little,
sealed cups of ranch that you get from
like what you'd
Costco.
get like from or
I have
from like
never seen a
McDonald's.
sealed cup of ranch. Are you
They're
talking about
like these
the packet?
round little
Yes,
packets
it is
of
a
the.
packet of ranch.
You peel
Like
the top off.
Like the Newman's Own packet?
Yes.
No.
It is
No,
a
but they're
sealed packet
round.
commercial ranch.
It's
never
like a
seen that.
plastic little round container with the top on it that you peel off.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Kind of
okay.
like a McDonald's one, just round.
Yeah. Okay, no.
Like it's not like they're in there
It's
mixing
Not
that
homemade,
shit
yeah,
up
like
and
if
making it
was-
themselves.
If it was homemade,
That
it
would be
like-
different.
that
A
would
little
be
bit different.
absolutely
Okay,
different.
okay.
But
You're
these
right.
sealed little cups.
I'm flipped now. I'm flipped
Okay.
now. But
So
yes, then that is definitely a cost thing because I'm sure those packets aren't cheap. Anyway,
they are if you buy them in
They
bulk, and
are.
you
They're
charge
not
people
expensive.
$1.
Walmart has them back in their deli section for like a quarter.
Yeah, they're not expensive. And to charge $1 for them is as insane as charging 30 cents for that cup of ranch at McDonald's. because-
McDonald's always charges me like 50 cents to $1
Yeah.
because I want tartar sauce.
Did you
And
know
they
that
had the
those-
big gun. They just squirted
Did you
into
know
a.
that those bitches for a while
thing.
they stopped doing it because I'm sure enough people pitched a fit. Those
It's
bitches
because
were
they
trying to charge you 30 cents to add mayonnaise to your sandwich. Like I am deducting ketchup, I am deducting mustard, and then you want to charge me 30 cents for mayonnaise?
so
But
that's
they
exactly
will give you the packet of mayonnaise for free.
they said. Like that's actually been something that I've seen at other places. They're like, okay, so I'm getting this burger. I don't want lettuce or tomato on there. So you're saving the cost on that, but I do want mayonnaise. Like, why is my burger more expensive if I want to add mayonnaise, but not less expensive when I don't want lettuce and tomato on it?
I want to know that. Yeah. Those are questions I want to know.
Yeah. So the internet for this said that this person was the asshole. I do not agree.
I don't agree either. They're not an asshole.
I'm on the fence.
All
I'm
right.
on the fence. I think the asshole part was going and getting
They're
a bottle of
petty,
wine.
but they're not an asshole.
The asshole was going in because I'm pretty sure that probably breaks some sort of health
So
code.
I think that part of it was, it said that I think the reason was because he was petty, because the owner made the comment of shit isn't free, because they didn't want to buy 10 little ranch cups. And I feel like if the owner hadn't made that comment,
Right.
that they probably would have just gone without ranch.
Yeah.
Or maybe gotten like a couple of ranch cups and just been more conservative with it, as opposed to like dousing it. All right. So the next one. Am I the asshole for reacting with disgust to my boyfriend sharing an experience that he had as a paramedic?
I need to
Did you ask him to share?
wait.
Yeah.
Was it relevant to whatever the conversation was? Like, I need more context.
Yeah, there's nothing here.
No.
Okay. I am a 23-year-old female dating a 33-year-old man. I'm feeling super conflicted right now after my boyfriend just shared a story with me about an experience he had while working as a paramedic. Basically, he told me this with the preface that it was a funny but extremely messed up story. He has a twisted sense of humor, and his partner at work does too, but I felt that this was too far. On to the story. He arrived on scene of a 25-year-old dead girl who had drowned, and part of his job is to pronounce people dead and obtain a time of death. His partner and he unzipped the mesh bag that her body was in, and his partner said, "Turn her over. I want to see that ass." Did you see the way that her back was arched when she was laying flat? My boyfriend proceeded to flip her over to see that ass. She wasn't naked, but wearing a bikini, and then flip her back and put her back in the bag. The police officers on the scene looked at them in disgust. My boyfriend expected me to laugh, but I think this is too far and a violation, and frankly, a little gross. He says it's not that serious and regrets sharing it with me. Am I the asshole?
No.
No. Because I mean, I love weird shit, and I'm not offended. I don't get offended, but and I'm not religious, but like, you don't desecrate the dead.
There's a fucking time and a place for that. Like
you don't.
Not in those
I mean,
type of
that-
situations.
That is, yeah. I mean that
That was very disrespectful.
Yeah, that was
so disrespectful. And then to be like, "Oh, this was so funny," like that's sexual assault. I don't care.
Yeah.
Dead. That's sexual assault.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's just like you hear of the when you go in for surgery, how you have to get butt naked, and then
Yeah.
they talk shit about you while you're naked, like, and that to me, if the person's dead, that's even worse.
Yeah. Like it was an absolutely insane thing that she was even like
she needs to get out of that relationship.
Yeah.
That's how far
What's
I would
funny
even
is I saw this was on my age gap relationship, I think was where I first saw this posted, because she's 23 dating a 33-year-old. And so people were like, first of all, absolutely not. And then second of all, to see how he acts, they were like, you need to leave this man. Like, this is a bad man. The internet obviously said, not the asshole. Like,
Yeah.
not even a question.
Anybody with morale at all, like,
Yeah. Like, I can't even imagine. Like, I would have packed my bags right there if somebody.
I know. I'd have been like,
I mean, would I have
this
wanted
ain't
to
gonna
see
work.
this? Would I have wanted to see this chick's ass or boobs if she was alive and well?
Yeah, you're like, yeah, of course. Like, I see a pretty
Yeah.
girl walking by. I'm like, that's a pretty girl.
But
Like,
she just lost her life. She's dead. It's gross.
absolutely disgusting.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm offended.
And the thing is, they did that right in front of the cops. What would they have done had nobody else been there?
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
because everybody kind of is a little reserved in front of other people. So,
Yeah.
like, how much farther would they have went?
Oh,
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. It's
fucking creeps.
alarming to say.
They
the
don't
least.
need to be in that job. I can tell you that much.
I
They
agree.
can't respect people's autonomy when they're alive and dead.
All right. Am I the asshole for telling my husband that his culture is garbage and I won't compromise by incorporating it into our family life? Asshole.
It depends. What's his culture? If he's a
Yeah.
Christian, no, you're not an asshole. If he's any other religion, then all right. I can see. I'm kidding.
I think like you can't tell someone that their culture is garbage.
Depends
Like,
on what
I
their
mean,
culture
maybe
is. Were
some
they
of
in
them
a
are.
cult? Do they molest
Some of them
children?
are garbage,
Yeah,
but,
that's a
like,
garbage culture.
Rude. It's just rude.
Were they part of the family? If they were, yeah, that's garbage culture. Like, do you hurt other people?
No, honey, we're not all wearing the. What is that little black Jewish people wear? The little black thing.
Yarmulke?
Yarmulke.
Is that a yarmulke? Is that called yarmulke?
Put on your yarmulke. It's time for Hanukkah.
You're okay.
So much Hanukkah to celebrate Hanukkah.
You look ridiculous. Take it off. No.
All right. So my husband and I live in the U.S. Northeast, where I am from. She's using a fake name. John moved here for work several years ago from the deep south of the U.S. where he grew up. That's why I picked it. It's from the deep south, y'all. That's the culture.
So it's our culture.
It's your culture.
So he's wanting to use bacon grease to cook with, and she's saying that's trash. She's wrong.
I'm gonna say you're gonna throw hands. All right. So he was raised with Christian holidays, but never attending church. Coincidentally, shortly before everything hit, John's parents and his childhood best friend Dan and his wife decided to move here as well. This past weekend was the first that us three couples have gathered together since any of us moved here. We had a distance picnic at our house. John sat down 2 to 3 minutes after I did as he was settling our kid into his pen in the yard with us. Dan and my father-in-law immediately started to jokingly rip on him for being whipped and doing my job of parenting our child while he was supposed to be allowed to just catch up with the two other men. I was trying to politely deflect when it turned into how mean I was for not fixing him a plate and serving him before serving myself. If I thought a certain dish would run out before he got to it, or if he had asked me to, I of course would have. Dan and my father-in-law continued to brag about how their families do it right where they handle the outside chores and their wives handle the inside chores, including the care of Dan and his wife's 2 children. I think it's important to note here that both.
We're not in the 1950s.
Hang on, I'm not done.
Right.
Okay.
I think it's important to note here that both currently live in rented condos that by their nature do not have outdoor chores, and both of their wives have always worked full-time, as do I. The whole day was kind of wrecked from the start, and I was frustrated when John left with his dad and father-in-law to go for a walk and left me to do all the cleanup alone while also looking after our kid. I expected John to apologize when he returned hours later, but instead he got mad at me for making him look bad in front of his friend and his dad. He brought up how a traditional division of labor is a huge part of Southern culture and how I was being disrespectful to his background by forcing Northern culture onto him and his family. He said he's been building up a lot of resentment the past few months that I make him do half the chores in childcare, since in his culture, women do the chores and hands-on childcare, and men do the fun parenting, the discipline, mow the grass, and bring in the cars for oil changes when needed. I was stunned but honest and told him Southern culture is garbage. It's bigotry. I lived in John's home state for 8 years, and I saw how Southern hospitality is reserved only for those in your group. Oh, in your in-group. Deviate from the norm. Be queer, non-Christian, a person of color, a liberal, a non-traditional woman, and they turn on you viciously. Does every single person act that way always? No, but it's the culture. John is livid and said his culture is just as valid as that of other global religions and ethnic groups. So am I the bigot by not compromising with him here and incorporating aspects of his culture into our family life the way I would if his culture was Islamic or Asian or whatnot?
That's not the culture.
That type of shit pisses me off. So
that's
bad.
not the culture. It may be within certain families, but it's not like my stepmom. A lot of times she does do that type of stuff, and my dad is.
That's just the kind of person that she is.
But that's just how they are. They don't ever
your
comment
dad
about
should
how
not
me and
expect it.
Anthony do things. Yeah. Like when Donna was working, and my dad was a minister, so he didn't physically do a lot of work. Like he would sometimes work on the church and stuff like that, but most of his was reading, writing, that type of stuff. And she had to leave the home. So he would take care of the laundry and the cooking and those things because he was already there to
That's
do
how
it.
should be.
Yeah. So
And that's
even
the
with
problem.
them being like her the top, like if we're having like a big meal, a lot of times, like, she will fix him a plate or will, go get his drink and hand it to him. It's just because she wants to do it, not
Yeah,
because
she's
he's
just
like
being nice.
waiting on
You
her to
shouldn't
do that.
expect it. But there are
Yeah.
literally people out there that expect that shit. And until
I would
those
be like,
people
get your ass up and do
die,
it yourself. Like,
but that's the problem, is you have people like that. Like, because I was thinking about the other day, I was like, all right, I'm thinking, because I was thinking heavily about you guys telling me about voting and stuff. Like, you remember that conversation we had about voting and stuff, and I was thinking, enough time goes by, things should progress. Once the older generation dies off, you know what I mean? But the problem is, like, I don't know, like the chick's husband, like he may just be wanting to appease his dad or whatever, because his dad just sounds like,
well, his dad and his friend, like they're both just making
then
feel
he,
shitty.
as the man, should have said,
Yeah.
this is our home and we do things differently than you do. And if you don't like it, you know where the door is. Like,
Yeah,
right.
like
you can
it's
shut your
definitely-
mouth.
And I'm hoping behind closed doors, her husband is not like that, and does not expect that type of shit.
I think that's the issue that came up.
The issue is that he said that he has been harboring resentment for a while, that she does not do all of these things and act like a traditional Southern woman. And he called her an asshole for not incorporating his culture of like being a misogynistic jerk.
That's what I said. What about a woman makes, I don't know.
See, like my parents are very conservative and
That is a
very
bonus.
traditional and all of that. And the only things they've ever said about Anthony, because Anthony, like since Sagan was born, has helped do diapers. When he's off work, he watches him most of the time, because he's not having to work, and I watch him whenever he's at work. So whenever he would be off, he would do almost everything for Sagan. He would do all the diaper changes, all the feedings once I was done breastfeeding, he would do all that. And the only thing my parents, as conservative and traditional as they are, have said was, he's such a good dad. Look at how good of a dad he is. Like, and that's it. They've never said anything negative about that.
There was that period in time where it was literally like, men aren't supposed to interact with their children. It's like, yeah. And that's why we're all fucked up right now, because in that time period, you were like, the men aren't supposed to interact. And that's why we all have daddy issues.
It's just like, I hate the term, that's not my job.
Yeah. Like you're in a relationship.
You're a parent. It is your job.
Like, that's not my job. Like, there are no fucking jobs. We're in a relationship. It's 50-50.
The most incredible thing that I ever see in my groups, and I think it's mostly my child-free group, is they post a lot of things where people, specifically men, are talking about having to babysit their own children, and they use the term babysit, and it's like,
I hate that.
Not babysitting when it's your kid.
Goddamn.
It's like, I'm watching my own child. I'm not babysitting.
Like Lily doesn't even call watching Sagan babysitting because it's her younger brother.
Yeah.
So she's just helping take care of him. She's never once said, I have to babysit him. Like, so I'm going to have to stay here with Sagan.
So the internet, again.
Oh, they ate him alive. They ate him alive.
They probably told that poor woman to leave and take everything he has.
Yeah.
Fucking douche. Absolutely insane. Okay. Am I the asshole for forgetting to watch over a friend's house? Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah. If you promised you're going to.
Yeah. Okay. I'm a 23-year-old female. I am known to be very forgetful, and most of my family and friends know this. I've forgotten my own birthday a couple of times just to explain how forgetful I am. Now, the problem
everybody forgets their birthday.
Is my friend Aria. She lives nearby and asked me to watch over her house and water her plants when she went on a week-long vacation. I already had a key, and she messaged me a code as well the day that she asked me. Aria was leaving on November 7th, but asked me in mid-October, so I told her to remind me before she left, and she said that she would. Usually I take a note on my phone or place a reminder in my phone, but I didn't have any battery at the time. So that's why I asked her to remind me. Fast forward to November 15th, and I got a very angry call from Aria saying that her plants are dead and she has a dead cat in the living room.
Oh my God.
Me, who had completely forgot about it till that very moment, was in absolute shock. I immediately tell her, why didn't you remind me? And she said that she had overslept and almost missed her flight, but thought that I'd be a good friend for once and do the one favor she asked me to do ever. I truly felt bad and I was still processing it all. So I told her I was sorry, but she knew how forgetful I was. And even a WhatsApp message would have been enough. She was too angry to hear anything, saying all of her plants were dead. A cat had gotten in somehow, then trapped herself in the living room and then died. So
I thought it was like her pet.
It was her freaking pet cat.
I mean, it's still really sad, but
Still sad, yes. But
so now that she had to deal with that as well, I feel awful. I do, and I have apologized profusely, but Aria does not want to talk to me and has even told others in the friend group that she's over me. Some of the friends are on my side saying she should have reminded me, knowing how easily I forget things, but most of our friends side with her saying it was very careless.
So wait a minute.
I really don't know what to do. And honestly, I forgot it truly. I forgot. And it truly never passed my mind until I got a call when she came back. So am I the asshole here?
yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
Wait a second. All right. Lindsay, you call me. You call me in January and you tell me that you and Anthony and the family are, let's say we live close. Okay. You say we are going on vacation. You call me in January. You say you're going on vacation in April.
This is just like would be February.
No. Okay, but I'm saying, okay, let's say, say February, mid-February. You're going on vacation. You're telling me January 10th that you're going at the end of February on vacation. It sounds like this chick that went on a trip did that a month in advance or whatever, then went on vacation and didn't have no contact with the friend.
Because I am a little weirded out that she not during that entire time she was gone with like, hey, is everything okay?
Well, no, not only that, but
I kind of get that day before. It sounds like it was just plans.
Like the day before, like, oh, I'm so ready for my trip. It sounds like they didn't talk for like
at all,
and she just went on a trip. So
I am a house sitter, and I actually have been experiencing this recently, and it actually drives me nuts. And I obviously do not think that the friend that like forgot is blameless in this, but they give me so many dates in advance and months in advance, and they don't always tell me or confirm. And it's very stressful for me. When they don't
be normal the day before you
so that's
hey, don't forget I'm going out of town tomorrow.
So that's what I'm saying is the people that I house it for have started doing this thing, and they never used to be like this. But the past few months, they'll tell me these dates months in advance, and I write them in my planner. And then they sometimes won't check in with me and just be like, hey, we still good, like a couple days before. And then the one thing that they've been doing that's really driving me nuts, even worse than that, because like I know their dates of the trip, they don't tell me when they're back. And I'm not watching plants. I'm watching live animals that need care. So the fact that I am not getting like a confirmation that they are back from their trip drives me up a goddamn wall. So I have very little sympathy for the friend who asked this person, was like, can you watch my stuff? And then didn't verify before and after. Right. Like she obviously verified after, but like, you should always double check with people.
I thought that was customary. I thought that was just a normal thing that people did.
Yeah,
I didn't realize people say.
I think everyone's the asshole here.
Yeah, I think everyone's the asshole too, because like that's the thing is like you don't know the pet sitter or the house sitter could have had a family emergency like and gotten a call and not even.
They could have been in a wreck and been in the hospital.
Exactly. So to not check with somebody the day of. And then come back and be like, you forgot to do this. And like, I'm just going to ignore the fact that the friend is like a forgetful person and just do it on a general, like, we had a contract. Yeah. You should check with the people doing work for you and make sure it's still cool, especially if you're asking that far in advance. But the internet said that the person who posted was the asshole and that she should have just remembered and it should have like been whatever. I think they're both to blame.
Yeah. I think
I mean,
both
she
also.
she has some fault, but she's not an asshole.
Yeah. Like she's definitely at fault, but yeah.
I would
But if
forget-
the other friend sent her the code and all
She did
that,
it a month in advance. And the friend that was supposed to do it forgot.
a month prior,
she should have
yeah.
put it in her calendar though.
She should have, and she absolutely.
If you know that you're forgetful, you should be
Well,
knowing
she said-
to remind yourself.
She said that what happened was that
Her battery
phone
was
died.
low. Yeah.
So that's
Well,
why
when
she
you get it
specifically-
charged, then you put it on there.
But that's why she specifically asked her friend to remind her because she's forgetful. So when her battery was charged, she probably didn't remember. So that's why she specifically said, "Can you please remind me?"
This is
So if
too
you're
much.
both-
Everybody wanting to blame the opposite person
Yeah.
when
Right.
everyone's at fault, at least a little bit.
So yeah, the internet's an asshole. I'm on the fence. Thank you everyone for watching. We hope that you enjoyed this episode of Am I the Asshole? As always, if you find good ones, please send them our way and they will hopefully make it onto a future episode. Bye.
Thanks.
Toodles.